Welcome to Out of the Blue. Number 85. So today we're going to be talking about a couple words. We are here on the back porch with the back porch dictionary. And Neo-Sweedenborgianism, as I've said, is rooted in a place, which is here, and a time, which is now. And but it is essentially a 520-year epoch. The Neo-Sweedenborgian epoch goes from 1730 to 2250. So I'm talking about a time frame that precedes my life and goes quite a bit beyond my life. So if I'm talking about the past, I'm a historian. If I'm talking about the future, I'm maybe a futurist or maybe a prophet. So if I'm going to talk prophecy, I might as well make it specific. So here we are in the dictionary: Death Valley. Death Valley, an arid basin in eastern California and southern Nevada, lowest land in North America. 1,500 square miles, 280 feet below sea level. That's Death Valley. So what kind of prophecy am I talking about? What's going to happen is, as we already know, the sea levels are rising, and there's going to be a movement at some point to flood Death Valley. Now that's not that original of an idea. Where am I? Siphon. But the question is, how do you get the water there? Because you would have to drill a tunnel underneath the Sierra Mountains, and that's a huge job. So the prophecy is not the flooding of Death Valley. The prophecy is how it's done, which is the world's largest siphon. So essentially you can build, much easier than building a tunnel under the Sierra Nevadas. You can build a pipeline over the Sierra Nevadas and siphon the ocean water into Death Valley. And then you can use that as a desalinization plant. You can get fresh water. You can desalinate the water by evaporation. So you can have big evaporation tanks where you collect the water evaporating. So this is essentially something for the future that's not really happening yet. And if they ever archive YouTube, you can look back in the archives and find this talked about years ago. But let's look up the word prophecy before we go any further. Prophecy, to foretell or predict, to indicate beforehand, to declare or foretell, as if by divine inspiration. Not exactly. I'm not claiming divine inspiration exactly. To utter in prophecy or as a prophet, to make predictions, that's more like it. To make inspired declarations of what is to come, yes, yes, yes. To speak as a mediator between God and humankind, or in God's stead, no. Archaic, to teach religious subjects. Anyway, but same page, and more interesting is this one. Propeller. Propeller, a device having a revolving hub with radiating blades for propelling an airplane, ship, etc. 2, a person or thing that propels. 3, the bladed rotor of a pump that drives the fluid axially. 4, a wind-driven, usually 3-bladed device that provides mechanical energy as for driving an electric alternator in wind plants. Propeller horsepower, a measure of the power actually available for driving a propeller after all wasted energy is deducted. Propeller shaft, a shaft that transmits power from the engine to the propeller, a drive shaft. Propeller wash, aeronautical, the backwash for my propeller. Anyway, those are our words for today. Siphon, prophecy, propeller, and Death Valley.